wanted to talk to you today about my experience eating raw in a non-tropical country and climate. I have been in Poland for the past month and a half, and I thought I couldn't do it at first because I was like, no, it's not a tropical place. I mean, the U.S. it's not a tropical climate, but there's a lot of access to good quality fruit, so I would say you can definitely do it there. The weather, as you can see, it's very cloudy, then sunny again, then cloudy, then it rains, so it's just all over the place. There was thunderstorms and there was like a mini hurricane. I mean, the wind was just it's been ripping roofs off of people's houses and barns, and it's just very weird. The climate's changing everywhere, let's just put it that way. So I'm sitting in my grandma's garden right now, and it's very beautiful, as you can see. It's very green. I really like that tree over there. I really like it. I want to recommend coming to Poland when it's warm, and the summers are pretty mild here, so that means probably from somewhere from the end of May to the beginning of August, because right now, what is it, August 10th? And it's already fall, it's already, you know, like fall. The weather is like fall, it's already chilly out. Today's the exception, I guess, so that's why I'm making this video today. But all morning it was just pouring. Yeah, I just got back from my run now because I was not going to run in the rain. Fruit in Poland. I came to Poland last December. I noticed that there was not a lot of fruit, and there was just a couple of root vegetables in the store. I did not go to the supermarket, but I did ask my cousin, and he said that the supermarket's just fine all year round. They have bananas and all different kinds of fruit. The one thing I want to say about Poland is that the vegetables are amazing. Tomatoes and cucumbers, young cucumbers, when the seeds are not big, they're still little. They're so crunchy and crisp, and they're fresh and organic and local. So that's one thing that I would say is amazing here. My grandma has a garden, and she has a lot of potatoes, so Poland is full of potatoes. If you want to just, you know, if you're doing high carb, low fat, but still some cooked, vegan, then definitely Poland, you will thrive here. There are potatoes everywhere, and rice. There's also a lot of herbs, parsley, scallions, and dill. Those are the three main ones all Polish people have in their kitchen. And there's some basil. I bought basil from the supermarket and I planted it in my grandma's garden, and that was my basil. It was enough just for me, so fruit. So when I first got to Poland, after being spoiled with new generation produce around my home, it was a switch, I would have to say. The fruit quality, it was not as sweet, because everything in Poland, you pretty much buy it from farmers. The supermarket, yeah, they have stuff from, you know, all over around the world. I saw apples from New Zealand, but, you know, I always want to go cheaper and for the best option, so I looked for cheaper probably, and that was farmers markets and stuff like that. The first few days when I was in Poland, it was a switch. It was a change up because the fruit was not as sweet, so I was feeling a little undercarbed, but I had some dates with me, which I had on the plane ride, and let's just say I was sick of dates after the 18 hours I spent eating them. And I was just like, I cannot look at dates anymore. And then after the few days which I was undercarbed, I remembered I had the dates, and I had some, and yeah, I was just like, they're amazing. How could I not live without them? I mean, how could I live without them? You know what I mean. Okay. But then I pretty much found my sweet fruit. Well, in the beginning, I didn't have any ripe bananas, so that was my problem pretty much. So I had to wait a little bit, so I was pretty much doing a lot of, they have sour cherries. My friend had sour cherries. But I want to say that the sun isn't too strong here. So the summers are pretty mild, and as a result the fruit is not as sweet. It was only really sweet at the very peak of its season. So the season doesn't last very long, right? So it makes it a little difficult, but I stuck to melons, all different types of melons that I didn't even have access to back home in the US, and watermelons and bananas. I didn't really eat any grapes, although they're pretty good on calories, and the mangoes are really expensive here, and they don't even have dates. So bananas, watermelons, and melons, pretty much. Because I knew they were sweet and they had a lot of calories, which I needed. Yeah. But I'm generally in northeast Poland. That's where my family lives. All of my family lives in Poland. And yeah, so there's Grandma. And those are my little cousins, by the way, yelling in the background, playing. My new favorite fruit in Poland was, I discovered white donut peaches. So amazing. I'm not really crazy about stone fruit unless it's really good. I had a few plums which were really good, so I was like, okay, maybe I'll give plums a try again. But yeah, the white donut peaches were amazing. So good. So good. And my new favorite vegetable, by the way, they call the white donut peaches, they call them UFOs. I thought that was pretty funny, but you know. New favorite vegetable, kohlrabi. It's spelled Kohlrabi, I believe. I didn't have any access to that back home either, so it was my first, I'd had it here for the first time because my friend was like, even my family loves this raw, so you definitely have to try it. So I was like, okay. And yeah, I tried it and I was like, oh my god, it's so good. Yeah, it tastes, it's a root vegetable. It's like not like a potato, but you have to peel it like a potato. You have to peel the layer on the outside because they can get to like this big. My aunt was telling me like this big, so that's why it's still really thick. By the end, it's a thin peeling. But yeah, so I tried it and it tastes like cabbage, but it's just condensed into like an apple shape. It's really good. I was eating them like chips. I just cut them right up and it was just chips. Super crunchy and waterful. So I've been buying my fruit. I bought my fruit from supermarkets and wholesalers, but it really depended because the wholesaler was not always the cheapest option. Sometimes the supermarkets were a lot cheaper. Like the bananas, for example. I went to the wholesaler and, they sell them, well, they had some ripe ones too, which they sold cheaper, but if they're yellow and in good condition and not bruised, they would sell them for like 50 cents a pound, which is regular price everywhere around the world, even back home. That's the price I had. And it's probably cheaper now because it's like summer, more people eat them. But yeah, so at the supermarket they would have it for like 15 cents a pound or 30 cents a pound, so we would go there to get the cheaper bargain because if we're buying like 18 kilos of them, you save some. We also went a lot to the flea markets where farmers from around in the area, they come once or twice a week and they sell their produce, and it could be that they have a plantation or they're just, they have some extra from their garden, but they sell it, and it's definitely organic and it's definitely local. But yeah, I've been buying a lot of stuff from the flea market as well. I saw sunflowers. They were so good, straight from the sunflower. The seeds were amazing. They were so soft and just not like store-bought, let's just put it that way. Always fresh is best, right? Also in Poland, a lot of people go to the forests. Let me show you. There's a lot of forests in Poland. There's the forest. Straight from right by my grandma's house. So at the forest, people they usually go mushroom picking. Mushrooms are a huge hit in Poland, always. I mean, they put them with their meat, their potatoes, sauces, everything. Yeah, so they also pick wild blueberries and raspberries. That's also very big here, but well, mainly mushrooms. And they will also sell them at the flea market. In general, fruit is cheaper now because it's in season. I mean, like everywhere. Back home, that's how it is too. You know, winter time comes and the watermelon's gonna cost you like 20 bucks if you really want it. But now in season, everything's cheaper. The watermelons right now have been incredible, by the way. Really, really good. It looks like it's gonna start raining again. So overall, I just wanted to say that if you want to make it work, you will make it work. I recommend coming during the warmer months. So from the end of May to, I'd say, the beginning of August, because now it's not that hot out anymore. I came at the end of June, and that first week was really cold. And then it got warmer, thankfully. That July was the warmest. The end of June was still pretty chilly. It was pretty cold, actually. But anytime it rains, it gets really cold out. There's no humidity here, pretty much, unless it's before a really huge thunderstorm. Yeah. But yeah, in July my fruit ripened perfectly. It was beautiful. And now my donut peaches are not as sweet and ripe. They're still really hard, and they don't give that beautiful sweet smell. So if you want to make it work, you will make it work. And, you know, just do it. Just do it wrong. I'll see you guys later.